Calculating and tracking your net worth is one of the best ways to see how well you're doing financially. Doing this once or twice a year can certainly be motivating or even eye-opening for most of us. While it seems like the general population views retirement as this magical age that falls somewhere between 60 and 70 years old, in my opinion, that's really not how it should be looked at. In reality, retirement's a financial target that we should be working toward. A financial target that's going to enable us to live off of our investments indefinitely. This number is going to be very different for each of us, but tracking our net worth and ensuring we're getting closer to that goalpost and not further away is incredibly important for our overall financial health. So in this video, I'm going to go through how I'm calculating our household net worth. And I'm laying it all out on the table in hopes that it motivates you to track this for yourself. Since I'm married, these numbers are going to reflect mine and my wife's assets and liabilities. But if you're single, it'll obviously just be your own assets and liabilities. I'm going to start out with our assets and then we'll deduct our liabilities to come up with our net worth. And just for the record, I'm 36 years old at the time of recording this. First things first, our house. Our primary residence. We purchased this property back in 2018 and its current value is $482,200. Now, I got this value from Zillow, but it does seem pretty conservative based on comparable property sales in my neighborhood. And this number is also not accounting for closing costs. Next, we have our joint checking account, which has $11,496 in it. Now, all of these numbers fluctuate pretty wildly throughout the month, but I'm simply looking at a snapshot during the day that I'm recording this video. Next, we have about a 3 to 4 month emergency fund, which is currently $21,831. We're holding the bulk of this money in our YNAB savings account, which we can probably be doing a little better interest-wise, but it is what it is. We also took advantage of those wacky I-bond rates in late 2022 and purchased $10,000 worth, which is now valued at $10,320. Now these I-bonds are going to be available to cash out at the 12-month mark, but with a 3-month interest penalty. Now if we let them mature until the 5-year mark, that penalty goes away. But these are something that we're going to have to evaluate as time goes on, as the interest rates change every 6 months. We also have a taxable brokerage account, which is currently valued at $28,508. Now, as far as retirement accounts, our 401ks have a total value of $269,886, and our IRAs have a total value of $32,322. Most of the 401k holdings are traditional pre-tax with a very small amount in Roth, while the majority of the IRA holdings are Roth, with a very small amount being traditional pre-tax. We also have an HSA, which stands for Health Savings Account, and this account has $11,088 in it. This type of account is one of the best retirement accounts available since it's triple tax advantaged. You can contribute to it with pre-tax money, the investments within it grow tax-free, and you can make tax-free withdrawals as long as those withdrawals are for qualified medical expenses. The pro tip here is to pay out of pocket for medical expenses, keep the receipts, and then 30 years down the road when you're ready to retire, get reimbursed for those expenses. Now, I understand not everyone's in a position to do this, but if you are, this type of account is really overpowered. Next, we have our vehicles. We have a Mazda CX-9, which is worth about $20,000, and we have a Hyundai Elantra, which is our beater car. And the Elantra's worth somewhere around $3,000. And I gotta say, there's something really freeing about driving a beater car around. I don't worry about it getting dinged up because honestly, I probably wouldn't even notice. At the end of the day, it gets me from point A to point B, it gets 30 miles per gallon, and most importantly, it's been fully paid off for years. And finally, we have a very, very small amount of gold, which is currently worth $2,029. I'm not really a strong advocate for investing in precious metals. We just happened to be gifted this gold coin years ago, so we figure we'll just hang on to it. So, all in all, our assets have a combined value of $892,682. And that would be absolutely fantastic if that was our net worth, but we have to subtract our liabilities. The big daddy of liabilities is the mortgage on our house, which has a principal balance of $301,210. And we're probably gonna hang on to this mortgage for dear life since it has a fixed interest rate of just over 3%. And my wife and I do have some federal student loans from grad and undergrad, which total $55,020. Now, we haven't paid toward these since the 0% interest started back in 2020, but I think we're all kind of assuming that forgiveness is very unlikely to happen at this point. So once the 0% APR on these loans expires, we're planning to pay these off pretty aggressively. This is mostly for the fact that these loans have around a 6% combined interest rate, which isn't awful, but it's certainly not great. We also have current balances on our credit cards, which total $4,426. Now, these are not revolving balances. We pay our credit cards in full each and every month. If we didn't, focusing on earning credit card points would be pointless. Now, we do have an auto loan which has a current balance of $8,199. I generally don't recommend people take out auto loans unless you can secure a really low rate and the loan isn't for more than 36 months. Way too many people are stretching themselves too thin by taking out crazy loans with 72 months and even 84-month terms. We ended up getting a 2.49% interest rate 36-month loan to purchase our Mazda. Now, we did purchase it certified pre-owned to avoid paying the initial depreciation on it, which was right around 40% of the MSRP. So brand new, the car would have been around $46,000. We ended up paying $28,000 for a 3-year-old car. And we currently only have 11 months left on this car loan, so it's gonna be paid off before we know it. Those are our total liabilities. Now let's subtract them from our total assets. $892,682 minus $368,857 gets us a total net worth of $523,825. But there's one more thing. If you're interested in becoming an accredited investor, the SEC does things a little bit differently in that they don't allow you to include the equity in your primary residence in your net worth calculation. The nice thing, however, is you also don't have to include your mortgage as long as that mortgage doesn't exceed the fair market value of your home. And the mortgage also has to be on your primary residence. They basically don't want you to abuse the system and deliberately take out more debt on your primary residence to then inflate your net worth elsewhere. So if we were to completely remove our home value and our mortgage from our net worth calculation, that leaves us with $342,836. Big difference. And if you're curious how I maximize my spend with credit cards, I think you'll enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. Peace.